approach the game. The question here is what we will notice very early, if the body follows the brain.
Right.
Because I remember myself when I played in that age. In my mind, I was number one, just like today. But the body didn't follow, and that's a natural thing because you want so much, but you have to accept that the body doesn't follow, and he has to see himself.
There are moments in football when the whole world believes it has finally watched a legend reach the end of the road. Moments when the headlines get louder, the criticism grows harsher, and every conversation seems filled with the same conclusion. For Cristiano Ronaldo, the 2026 FIFA World Cup opened with exactly that feeling. After Portugal's disappointing draw against DR Congo, millions rushed to deliver the same verdict. He's finished. He's too old. He's 41 years old. He plays in Saudi Arabia. Portugal would be stronger without him. Look at Messi. Look at the next generation. For days, those comments followed him everywhere. Television debates, social media, newspapers, podcasts, every corner of the football world. And to be fair, not every criticism appeared from nowhere. Against DR Congo, Ronaldo looked frustrated. He looked cut off from the game. He looked half a step slower than the unstoppable force who once ruled European football. Portugal struggled to create chances. The attack never found its rhythm. And for 90 difficult minutes, their captain looked human, maybe more than fans had seen in years. But here's what so many people still fail to understand about Cristiano Ronaldo: criticism has never broken him. It never has. If anything, it usually creates something even more dangerous. Throughout his entire career, Ronaldo has turned every doubt into motivation. The louder people question him, the stronger he seems to respond. That's exactly why he has survived every era, every challenge, every new generation, and every comparison. From Manchester to Madrid, from Turin to Riyadh, and now back on football's biggest stage. While most players try to shut out the noise, Ronaldo almost seems to welcome it. He carries every headline, every opinion, every criticism, then releases it when the pressure is at its highest. Call it confidence, call it obsession, call it relentless determination. Whatever name you give it, it explains why he became one of the greatest players the sport has ever seen. Deep down, everyone probably should have expected what came next because Cristiano Ronaldo has spent more than 20 years telling the same story. The world doubts him. Then he answers, again and again and again. So when Portugal stepped onto the pitch against Uzbekistan for their second group match, everything felt different. The pressure had only grown. Portugal needed to respond. Roberto Martinez needed to respond. But more than anyone else, Cristiano Ronaldo needed to respond. As he walked out of the tunnel, something about him looked instantly familiar. The posture, the confidence, the expression on his face, his head held high, shoulders back, carrying that unmistakable look that almost seemed to say, just wait. The critics saw a 41-year-old footballer nearing the end. Ronaldo saw an opportunity waiting to be taken, and only 6 minutes later, the football world understood exactly why that difference mattered. The move started down Portugal's right side. João Cancelo burst forward with purpose. Portugal's shirts poured into the penalty area. Nearly everyone attacked the ball except one player, Cristiano Ronaldo, watched the goal closely. Not just the finish, but the movement before it, because that's where the real story lives. That movement explains why he's still here, why he still scores, and why defenders continue to fear him. While everyone else chased the obvious space, Ronaldo drifted into the hidden space, the area nobody else recognized, the kind of space only elite goal scorers seem able to find. As Cancelo reached the byline, Ronaldo wasn't standing still. He wasn't waiting for luck. He wasn't hoping the ball would somehow find him. He was calculating every tiny detail, one step, then another. A subtle move toward the near post, another quick adjustment, small movements that barely caught the eye, yet every one of them mattered. Those little changes created just enough separation. Suddenly, the defenders were reacting while Ronaldo was already one step ahead. By the time they realized the danger, he had already won the battle. The cross arrived low with an awkward bounce. It was the kind of delivery that forces hesitation, the kind of ball capable of exposing even experienced strikers, but hesitation has never been Ronaldo's weakness. He attacked it on the half volley, leaned back slightly, struck cleanly through the ball with complete conviction, and within a split second it rocketed into the bottom. corner, goal, Portugal 1, Uzbekistan 0. Another unforgettable moment added to an extraordinary career. The stadium exploded. His teammates rushed toward him. Millions of supporters around the world celebrated the breakthrough. But Ronaldo barely smiled. That was what made the moment feel even bigger, because this wasn't simply another goal. It wasn't just another celebration. It felt like a message aimed directly at everyone who had spent the previous few days writing him off. Every criticism, every headline, every prediction that his time was over. Without saying another word, the goal answered all of them. It wasn't just Portugal taking the lead. It was Cristiano Ronaldo reminding the football world that counting him out has always been a dangerous mistake. His expression seemed to deliver one simple message louder than any celebration ever could. Keep doubting me. There was no laughter, no sigh of relief, no playful smile, only that familiar expression, that unforgettable Ronaldo stare, the look of a man who had just answered every headline from the previous week, every social media post, every television debate, every criticism thrown his way. The message couldn't have been clearer. Finished? Who decided I was finished? And just like that, the entire story changed, because football moves fast. One week you're being written off, the next you're unstoppable again. One goal can flip everything upside down, and nobody understands that reality better than Cristiano Ronaldo. The criticism that had surrounded him for days suddenly felt quieter, smaller, almost forgotten. In football, the only response that truly matters happens on the pitch, and Ronaldo had delivered his answer in just 6 minutes. But he wasn't done. Not even close. Because when Ronaldo senses momentum building, when confidence starts flowing again, something special usually follows. 30 minutes later, it happened once more. Portugal were growing stronger with every attack. Uzbekistan were beginning to struggle under the pressure. The midfield had found its rhythm. The passing was quicker. The attack looked alive. Then came the moment everyone would remember. Bruno Fernandes lifted his head. One quick glance, one perfectly timed pass. Suddenly, Ronaldo was racing through on goal. Everything about the move looked perfect. The timing was perfect. The run was perfect. The finish was even better. One soft touch. Calm, controlled, clinical. The ball rolled beyond the goalkeeper and into the net. 2-0 Portugal. Another goal, another record, another reminder that Cristiano Ronaldo wasn't simply surviving this World Cup. He was starting to take control of it. That second goal completely changed the conversation. The same voices questioning him after the opening match were now watching the first footballer in history score in 6 different FIFA World Cups. 6! Just stop and think about that for a second. Entire generations of players have come and gone. Careers have started, peaked, and ended. Yet Ronaldo remains, still scoring, still competing, still chasing history, still refusing to walk away from the biggest stage in football. Maybe that's exactly what makes him so fascinating, because logically, none of this is supposed to happen anymore. Football usually doesn't work this way. Time is meant to catch everyone. Age is supposed to win. Every athlete eventually slows down. Every legend eventually fades. Yet, Cristiano Ronaldo somehow keeps pushing that ending further away. He keeps finding another chapter, another goal, another record, another reason for the football world to keep talking about him. As the first half came to an end, one feeling started spreading among football fans everywhere. Portugal supporters knew that feeling better than anyone. It was hope. The growing belief that maybe, just maybe, their captain wasn't finished after all. Maybe the story everyone thought was ending had another chapter waiting to be written, and maybe that chapter would become one of the most unforgettable moments of the entire tournament. When the second half began, the question was no longer whether Portugal would win. That part already seemed settled. The bigger question had become something much more exciting. Was this the night Cristiano Ronaldo officially announced himself as one of the stars of the 2026 FIFA World Cup? Everyone watching could feel the shift. The atmosphere had changed completely. The pressure created by the draw against DR Congo was disappearing. The tension was fading away. Standing at the center of it all was a 41-year-old captain determined to remind everyone exactly who he was and exactly why writing him off had always been risky. Still, for Cristiano Ronaldo, 2 goals have never been enough. They never were. That endless hunger is what separates him from almost every player who has ever stepped onto a football pitch. Most footballers dream of scoring once at a World Cup. Ronaldo was frustrated that he hadn't scored 3. Only minutes after his second goal, he came within touching distance of a hat trick. The chance looked incredibly difficult. The finish looked almost certain. Fans were already rising from their seats. But Uzbekistan defender Abdulkadir Kusanov got back at the last possible moment, making the crucial intervention before the danger became another Ronaldo headline. Moments later, Portugal extended their advantage to 4 goals, with João Felix celebrating after getting the decisive touch. For a split second, Ronaldo stood still. Then came the familiar reaction: frustration, determination, that refusal to accept anything less than absolute perfection. That's who Cristiano Ronaldo has always been. Never satisfied, always chasing more goals, more records, more history, more greatness. That mentality hasn't changed at 25. It didn't change at 35, and it certainly hasn't disappeared at 41. As the second half rolled on, Portugal continued controlling nearly every part of the match. Bruno Fernandes kept pulling the strings, dictating the tempo with complete authority. Nuno Mendes kept causing problems every time he surged forward. Defenders couldn't keep up with him. Jota attacked at every opportunity, stretching Uzbekistan's backline again and again. Yet even with Portugal creating chances from every direction, Cristiano Ronaldo remained the center of attention. Every time the ball entered the penalty area, defenders instinctively searched for him first. Every supporter inside the stadium expected something dramatic to happen. Even after more than 20 years at the highest level, Ronaldo still carries that unique presence, that feeling that one touch can change an entire match. One chance, one finish, one unforgettable moment, and suddenly the game belongs to him again. Portugal's dominance soon became impossible to ignore. Earlier in the match, Nuno Mendes had already surprised everyone with a clever free kick routine that caught Uzbekistan completely off guard. An own goal only added to their growing frustration. Then Rafael Leao joined the party to complete the rout. 5 goals, a commanding 5-0 victory. A performance that sent a message to the rest of the tournament. But despite every goal scored that night, everyone knew exactly who owned the biggest story. Cristiano Ronaldo, the captain, the record breaker, the player who had spent an entire week hearing people question whether his time was over before answering every single doubt in spectacular fashion. Then came the moment that truly defined the night, the moment that spread across the football world within minutes, the moment every headline wanted to capture. As Ronaldo walked toward the television cameras after the final whistle, the emotions were impossible to hide. This wasn't the calm, carefully controlled superstar fans had become used to seeing. This felt completely different. It was personal, it was emotional, it was Cristiano Ronaldo speaking directly to everyone who had doubted him. He looked straight into the camera, straight through the lens, almost as if he was looking every critic in the eye, and shouted, "I'm back, I'm back!" Not once, twice. Just 3 simple words, yet those words carried more than 2 decades of history behind them, more than 20 years of proving people wrong, more than 20 years of refusing to disappear whenever others believed he was finished. It wasn't simply a celebration after scoring 2 goals, it felt like a declaration, a warning, a reminder, because in Ronaldo's mind, he had never disappeared. The football world had simply moved its attention somewhere else. Now he wanted to make absolutely sure nobody overlooked him again. Later, when journalists asked him why he repeated those words, his answer revealed everything about the mentality that has driven him throughout his career. He smiled and simply replied, "Only so they don't forget." Just think about that answer for a second. Only so they don't forget. What a statement! That's the thing about Cristiano Ronaldo. He remembers every criticism, every comparison, every headline, every doubt. Then he turns those moments into motivation that somehow still burns stronger than ever after more than 20 years at the top level of football. Many players would have struggled after the criticism that followed Portugal's opening match. Ronaldo transformed it into energy. Maybe that's the real reason he has remained at this level for so long. Not because he's different physically, not because he's some impossible superhero. It's because mentally he refuses to surrender. The toughest opponents Ronaldo has ever faced weren't defenders standing in front of him. They were time, age, expectations, the fear of becoming irrelevant. Most footballers eventually lose those battles. Ronaldo continues showing up every single day, determined to fight them all over again. After the match, even former rivals and teammates couldn't hide their admiration for what they had just witnessed. Wayne Rooney, who knows Ronaldo as well as almost anyone, summed it up perfectly when he said, "This is what Ronaldo does. Criticism arrives, then comes a response." Football fans have seen that pattern repeat throughout his career, and somehow it keeps happening. Roy Keane pushed the point even further when he declared Cristiano Ronaldo was never gone. Maybe that's the simplest explanation of all. Maybe football became distracted by rising stars, distracted by the next generation, distracted by new storylines. Meanwhile, Ronaldo quietly kept working, kept training, kept believing, patiently waiting for another chance to remind everyone exactly who he is. When that opportunity finally arrived, he grabbed it with both hands. What makes this story even more remarkable is the setting surrounding it. This is Ronaldo's sixth FIFA World Cup. 6. It's a number that almost sounds unreal. Entire football generations have come and gone during his international career. Many of the young players competing in this tournament grew up watching him on television. Some were still children when he appeared at his first World Cup back in 2006. Yet here he still stands, still scoring, still leading, still inspiring, still carrying the hopes of an entire nation at an age when most footballers have already walked away from the game. And maybe that's exactly why this story connects with people far beyond Portugal. Deep down, fans aren't simply watching another football player anymore. They're not just watching a football player anymore. They're watching someone push beyond limits, challenge expectations, and fight against time itself. That's what makes every Ronaldo goal feel bigger than an ordinary goal. Everyone understands how difficult moments like these are supposed to be. Every success feels more meaningful because so many people expected the opposite. Every celebration carries extra emotion because nobody knows how many nights like this are still waiting. That uncertainty changes everything. Every match could become Cristiano Ronaldo's final unforgettable performance. Every goal could become another iconic memory. Every tournament could be the last incredible chapter of one of football's greatest careers. That's exactly why nights like this matter so much. They remind football fans everywhere never to take greatness for granted. One day, Cristiano Ronaldo will play the final match of his remarkable career. One day, there will be no more goals, no more celebrations, no more records to chase, no more unforgettable moments that bring stadiums to their feet. Football will continue moving forward just as it always has. New stars will rise, new legends will appear. But on this unforgettable night in Houston, none of those future conversations mattered. Because for 90 incredible minutes, one of football's greatest icons seemed to turn back time once again. The critics spoke first. The football world listened. Then Ronaldo answered the only way he has ever truly answered. With goals, with passion, with determination, with another performance that reminded everyone why his name still belongs among the greatest players the game has ever seen. And maybe the most dangerous part for Portugal's rivals isn't simply that Ronaldo scored twice. It isn't just that Portugal cruised to a dominant 5-0 victory. It isn't even that he became the first footballer ever to score in 6 different FIFA World Cups. The truly dangerous part is something much bigger. For the first time in this tournament, Cristiano Ronaldo looks like a player filled with complete belief again. And whenever Cristiano Ronaldo believes in himself, football history has a strange habit of following right behind him. Maybe this World Cup ends with Portugal celebrating the greatest achievement in their history. Maybe it ends with heartbreak once again. Maybe Ronaldo lifts the trophy he has chased for so many years. Maybe the dream slips away. Nobody knows how this story will end. But after everything football fans have witnessed across more than 2 decades, one lesson continues to repeat itself. Never write off Cristiano Ronaldo. Every single time the football world believes his story is over, he somehow finds another chapter that nobody expected. And maybe that's exactly why the 2026 FIFA World Cup suddenly has a very serious Ronaldo problem. Not simply because he's still playing, not simply because he's still scoring, but because against logic, against expectations, and against everything people predicted, Cristiano Ronaldo looks like he's back once again. And if football has taught us anything, it's that the greatest stories are never truly finished until the final whistle blows. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another story. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and we'll see you in the next video.